Now we're going to sketch the graph of circular functions involving tangent and cotangent, starting from x is equal to 0 over 2 periods. Indicate the period, the phase shift, the domain, and the range. So the first given is y is equal to tan of x. The second given is y is equal to negative cotangent of cotangent x. So first is tangent x. So first is determine the period. So the first step is you're going to determine the period. The period is pi over b. How are you going to know the pi over b? The form is y is equal to 10a tan of bx. So yung katabi ni tan, yan siya si a. Ang katabi ni b, ni x pala, yan siya si b. So for this one, ang katabi ni x dito si, wala siyang katabi, which means it's 1. So ang b dito is 1. So the period is pi. So sa isang pi, there's changes already of changes. So that's the period. B. Letter B, determine the two adjacent vertical asymptote. So to determine the two adjacent asymptote, what you're going to do is this one. X is equal to positive negative. This is for tangent. Positive negative pi over 2b, which is equal to positive negative pi over 2b, which is 2 times 1, which is equal to positive negative pi over 2. So positive negative pi over 2. So this is it. So these are the vertical asymptotes. So these are the vertical asymptotes. So this one, ito yung asymptote. Ang layo nito is actually pi. Next, you're going to identify 3 points in here. So ito, 0, x, y. So 3.0. Dito sa gitna niya, that's pi over 4. So let's have pi over 4. This one is negative pi over 4. So let's have pi over 4, negative pi over 4. So we're going to solve now the values. So if x is equal to tan pi over 4, y is equal to tan of x, which is equal to tan pi over 4. And pi over 4 is 180 divided by 4. That's 45. So tan of 45 is equal to 1. Tan of 45 is equal to 1. Bakit siya 45? Because pi is actually 180. So 180 divided by 4 is 45 degrees. Next, tan of 0, tangent 0 is 0. Next is tangent of negative 45, negative 1. So mauna pala ito dapat. So but still it's okay. So pi over 4, that's 0, that's 1. This is 1. Kapag 0, 0. Kapag negative pi over 4, that's negative 1. So the graph actually looks like this. If isang pi, so the same interval lang, so is the same ang layo. The same ang kanyang so that's the graph of y equals to tangent x over 2 periods. Next, the same process for y is equal to negative cotangent x. So however, in this one, for the period is pi over b. So pi over b, so y is equal to negative that's positive a cotangent bx. So, ang b dito, walang katabi. So, that's 1. So, pi. That's the period. Next, letter B. For us to identify letter B, what you're going to do is, first is given. Ang first is given, that's always x is equals to 0. The second is x is equals to pi over b. Ang pi dito is pi. B dito is, yung katabi ni x, that's 1. So, x is equal to pi. So, the first one is x is equals to 0 and x is equals to pi. These are the vertical asymptotes. So, x is equals to 0. Saka x is equals to pi. Kasi nga, ang period is pi. So, 2 pi. We need 2 pi for our second cycle. Next. The same process, we're going to identify 3 points in here. So, from here, so the second point is pi over 2. Pi over 2 or 90 degrees because 180 divided by 2. This is pi over 4, pi over 2, 3 pi over 4. So 3 pi over 4 and pi over 4, which is pi over 4 is 45 degrees. So this is 135 degrees. Kasi, bakit 135 degrees? So 3 times 180 divided by 4. That's 135. So next, negative cotangent. So y is equal to negative cotangent of x. So kapag ang x is 45, so negative cotangent. Where is cotangent? So because we don't have cotangent, that's actually sine, cosine of 45. That's divided by sine of 45. So that's negative 1. Next, if x is equals to 90, so if x is equals to 90, let's have this. So y is equal to negative cotangent 90. Pero dahil dito sa calculator walang cotangent, what you're going to do is negative cosine 90 divided by sine 90. Kasi cotangent is equal to cosine over sine. So negative cosine 90 divided by sine 90 is equal to 0. So next, so 135, so negative cosine 135 divided by sine 135, that's 1. So this is 1 period. So pi over 4, that's negative 1. Pi over 2, 0. 3 pi over 4, it's 1. So plot the points. The same process. Plot the points. So this is the process. So how about its domain and range? So we know the period is pi. The phase shift is 0. The phase shift is 0 because these are the original one. Next, the domain or the range is quite easy. So let's proceed. Domain, it's domain dito, it's y such that y is an element of real numbers. Kasi lahat ng values ng y mayroong matatouch mong graph. So the domain, the range pala. Range is y such that y is an element of real numbers. Next, the domain. This is the domain for cotangent. The domain of cotangent is this one. So the domain is x such that x is not equal to k pi such that k is an element of integers. As you can see, diba walang value siya sa pi, wala rin siyang value sa 2 pi. So basta may pi, katabi whole number, walang value dyan ang cotangent. Dito naman, the domain here is this x such that x is not equal to 2k plus 1 over pi over 2, where k is an element of integer. K is an integer. So, this, as you can see naman dito, walang value siya kapag may 3 pi over 2. So, pi over 2, negative pi over 2. So, usually sa pi over 2 siya walang value. So, that's how you're going to graph circular functions involving tangent and cotangent.